Hello, I'm Hattie Collins. In 2023, I interviewed people from Devon and Cornwall about rural living and the sustainable energy transition, with people often talking about how difficult it can be to get around in rural areas, especially when relying on public transport.
I'm Alison Foden. I've been living in Cornish for nearly 23 years now. Even at peak times, you're lucky if there is 2 buses an hour, which is so wrong. I thought this is not good, particularly with climate change increasing at an ever faster pace.
I'm George Middlemiss. I live in Exeter now. I cycle everywhere. Growing up in a village, as soon as I turned 17, my parents got me driving lessons and got me a car because there's 1 bus an hour that goes in one direction.
The unreliability of public transport can force people into challenging situations.
So my name's Sharon Deegan. I wouldn't have broken my hip if there had been a better bus service.
Sharon had been Christmas shopping when she missed the last bus home at 6:45, so she had to stay at a Premier Inn for the night.
It was actually cheaper than a cab. And so all I needed to do was walk from the Beefeater across the little wooden bridge into the Premier Inn, and I fell.
Despite rural areas being disconnected due to a lack of public transport, they are connected by the strength and kindness in their community.
Trying to get rural transport is a bit like getting round when you live in Timbuktu. The community more than makes up for it because people have been very generous.
I'm Ayla Treasurer.
I'm Sarah Treasurer and we're mother and daughter. So we live in Bodmin and there's a lot of very compassionate, motivated people. During lockdown, there were a group of bikers. Anyone could send them a list of what they wanted and they would go to the shop, get it sorted. They'd pick up meds for people that couldn't get out. Then there was one young lad, bless him, must have been 17, on his little moped.
In rural areas, using a combustion car or moped is a vital way to access opportunity, and when fuel prices soar, it can limit day-to-day life.
I don't think people realise quite the distances that we do drive here. So Ayla was with a different theatre group that's actually up in Moor in Liskeard, and that got to the point where I couldn't take her, come back, go and get her and come back again. I'd have to sit up there for 6 hours
in the
with a
freezing
duvet because it was winter.
But as we move towards a greener future, can combustion cars be replaced by electric vehicles?
I am Rosamond Thomas and we are at Treburley Garage near Launceston, and we have been here over 70 years. We had a customer who was very environmentally friendly, and he said, have you thought about putting in an electric charging point?
So my name is Lucy Crane and I work for a company called Cornish Lithium.
Lucy explained that they worked with a student who asked the local community what they thought of Cornish Lithium.
Overwhelmingly, they're very positive, but what I found really interesting from the feedback was that people understand that you need lithium for batteries, and we want batteries to go into electric cars because we want to stop burning fossil fuels and climate change. But they're like, but what impact does that have on my life? I'm never going to be able to afford an electric car. We haven't got the infrastructure for it.
As everybody's saying, the infrastructure is just not up to speed at the moment. We've got a couple of customers, bless them, into their 80s, and they've been saying, I wouldn't go anywhere else because I know that I wouldn't be able to cope with the modern day fuel pumps. They're not being included in all the decisions that are being made to modernise things, I suppose.
There's a feeling that people in rural communities are being left behind.
In order to make the transition to renewable energy, you've got to take people with you. You can't do it to them, you've got to do it with them.
But George is optimistic about the transition.
I think we'll probably find an equilibrium where we live in a society that is totally powered by low carbon energy. It will be probably, hopefully, a nicer place than where we live now, and lost a lot of good things, but we'll also have lost a lot of bad things, and hopefully it's worth it.